Well, I think it's of utmost importance. That's our responsibility as both as a district and as a board, is to represent our student population. We, as board members, are the voice for our children, for our community, and so it's difficult to be that voice if you're not representative of that very community. And I do have to honestly commend this board for really making an effort to search for somebody who would represent the community, as they have been hoping to find somebody.
Such a fast-growing population in the school district.
Yes.
Do you feel like this is a community that's engaged in the school district? Has that engagement level changed over the last few years, and what can be done to engage more with the city's growing Hispanic population?
I would say it is growing. It is becoming a more involved community, and I think part of that has been a part of many members of the community being involved in educating the community about how to become involved. For many of the current parents, they come from a different educational system where parental involvement had a very different meaning to it. And so learning the American system and how to become involved has been one step that many people have been working towards increasing that awareness. The population has grown tremendously, especially over the past 10 years. It's like, I think, doubled easily. And so that population, we have multi-generational populations here. First generation, second generation, third generation members of the community. And so you have different experiences that come with that, and different levels of involvement. And so now we're starting to mesh some of that and starting to complement each other on that.
I noticed that in your bio it said that your family was from Juarez. I know that's a really poor region of Mexico, but what's it like for your family to see you be so successful and now the first Hispanic woman on the Oklahoma City School Board?
You know, my born and raised here. Most of my family, most of my aunts and uncles attended high school here, middle school, elementary school here, and so this has been home for a long time. However, never forget where you come from, clearly. And so I think that's one of the things that you may have seen today, is that there is a great source of pride within our community. I'm sorry.
I understand
that we have somebody that can understand our culture and that can speak intelligibly of both our needs and where we're coming from, but not only what our needs are, but our strengths. We have tremendous strengths as a culture that perhaps somebody who's not familiar with our culture does not recognize that as a strength. And it exists and it's there, and for the opportunity to have somebody at the table who's going to say that's not a deficiency, that's a strength that we can bring to the district, and we can celebrate that and empower our students with that. That's the biggest thing. Is Chief Justice, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor commented, regardless of how extraordinary a student may be, without the really tangible role model there for them, it's almost irrelevant to them. Without having a role model who looks like who we are, it's difficult to say that this is a reality. And I hate it when I do that. I think this is my opportunity, but my responsibility for those generations ahead of us who are behind, that are coming up, to be that role model and say, you know, we may have thought this was not something that we could do, but we can and we will, and we need to continue to do that and encourage each other. Like you said, the population here has really grown recently over the past few years. Growing up here in Oklahoma City, I didn't have those role models. Not that looked like me or ate tortillas like I did, or spoke like I did. Speak English at home and then run home and speak Spanish. Sorry, speak English at school and then run home and speak Spanish. So I didn't know professionals who could do that. So it just didn't seem like a reality. And so now I'm very proud to say that I can be a role model for children who may be lacking that, such as I did growing up.
Board member Reveals had mentioned that she's got a couple of schools in her ward that are predominantly Hispanic. And so she was saying that she was appreciative of the fact that she might be able to lean on you and call on you.
Oh, absolutely.
What does that look like? What does it look like for you being, a member of the Hispanic community, for you to be able to assist and help in some of those schools that are majority?
Oh, absolutely. Although I am District 6, I am the District 6 member. I am a advocate of Oklahoma City Public Schools, period. I am an advocate of South Oklahoma City. There's not going to be a school that I say, well, no, this is just my responsibility. No, it's about all of our children. We have, 40, however many thousand children, over 50%, I'm certain now, I think 48% is what it was, are Spanish speaking or of Latino descent. That's 40-something thousand students that are still counting on me to be aware of what's going on in our community. And our community is really anywhere that's serving our Oklahoma City Public School students. So whether it's one of her schools or any of the other schools, the fact is there are children.
What would you say like your goals are, like short term and long term? Like when you look out like in a year, what do you hope to have accomplished, and also like in 5 years, what do you hope to see happen for Oklahoma City Public Schools?
I don't know that I have specific goals set. I know one of the things that I'm excited about being able to bring to the board is my experience and my knowledge of the culture within South Oklahoma City. That is something that other board members have asked for. We each have our own individual background, and to be able to help bring light to maybe certain areas that people weren't aware and didn't understand. Like I said, some things some characteristics that we may think that's a deficit, well, it's really something that we can celebrate, and this is how it can be a positive for our district. And I think if you have that different perspective, you can shine that light, and that's something that I hope to be able to do most immediately and ongoing. I hope to have better representation of our parents at the board meetings. I think that's one of the biggest things, is I want them to understand that they can come to the board meeting, they can speak, they can be heard. Any parent, that's what we ask, is just to listen and understand what my concern is. And if a language deficiency has been the problem, has been the barrier, I want them to understand that that's not a barrier. It hasn't been a barrier for Oklahoma City because we've had translators here, but they're just not aware of it. Being involved in the community as much as I am, it's easy for me to be able to communicate to certain groups that this is, you're welcome here. This is for parents. And so that's increasing that awareness for the parents, I think, is the biggest thing.
I just have one more question. What's it like? I mean, you started, you have some perspective now to look back. What's it like to look back when you first started? I'm guessing you're like probably my age, and look back and go, like, what's it like to look back over your career and look at where you've been?
Oh, it's, I don't think, when I first came to the district, I actually came to apply as a cafeteria worker.
Wow.
That was back in 1989, so it's been a little while. They didn't hire me because I can't cook worth a flip. And you had to pass this little test, something about eggs, I don't remember. And so, but they didn't hire me. And so I went to the language and culture department because I was bilingual at the time, obviously. They said they could really use your skills there. And so that's where it began. And so never would I have thought that I'd be on this side of the table. But I'm blessed to be there. And like I said, I believe it's not only my privilege and my honor, but it's my responsibility. Sorry.
It's okay. Every time you say responsibility, you start to cry. So if you can avoid that word.
It is, because that is a true, I understand the weight. Sorry. I got it. I don't. I don't.
People are like,
no, I don't like that. I understand the weight of what the responsibility is of the table. People may think, well, they're just sitting there, they just want to either complain about something or just pass things off. No, it's real weight that every member of this table takes to heart. This is not an easy job for any of the people that are at the table, and so you have to really understand what that is. And I do.
Do you think that's why you start crying? Is like you're thinking about that responsibility? I mean, you mentioned like so many children. that you feel like
I'm just a big crybaby.
That's okay.
I get very passionate about certain things.
Yeah.
And serving our kids and serving our community is one of those things.